Tyler has always been a quieter presence since we were kids, but it was never the type of quiet that raised alarms. Imagine a classmate lost in disbelief, or a grandmother grappling with what feels unimaginable. On September 10, 2025, Tyler Robinson took the life of Charlie Kirk, and in a heart-wrenching decision, his family chose to turn him in. Now, they are bravely sharing their story about the son they thought they knew and the choice that transformed their lives forever. Welcome to The Killer Next Door, where we peel back the layers of the darkest human stories to uncover the truths that haunt us. Today, we explore the unthinkable transformation of Tyler Robinson, from a shy, intelligent kid to a radicalized killer, and the heartbreaking choice his family made to stop him. Through exclusive insights from their interviews, digital evidence, and expert analysis, we'll reveal a portrait of a young man consumed by online extremism, a family torn apart by betrayal, and a nation grappling with the specter of political violence. If you're ready to dive into a story that's as complex as it is chilling, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and join us as we unravel Tyler Robinson, the quiet son who became a political assassin. This unthinkable shift within the family is now coming to light, following one of the most shocking political killings in America. The Robinson family has finally decided to speak out. What they share about Tyler's last moments of freedom paints a picture that is both troubling and starkly different from the young man they raised, a reality that even his own grandmother struggles to accept. Tyler's drastic change didn't occur overnight. Rather, it began to culminate during what seemed like an ordinary family gathering just hours before he traveled 250 miles north to Utah Valley University to commit a murder with a single rifle shot. For the Robinson family, that evening of September 9, 2025, represents the last instance of normalcy before their world was forever altered. The family's choice to assist law enforcement, which ultimately led to Tyler's apprehension, has been described by experts as an almost unprecedented act of moral courage. Yet the toll of doing what they felt was right has been unimaginable for a family that their neighbors see as a representation of American values. In St. George, Utah, where the Robinson family has long-standing ties, news of one of their own committing such a political murder sent shockwaves through a community that holds traditional Mormon values and conservative politics dear. The contrast is stark: a family of registered Republicans who supported Donald Trump, raising a son who would grow to radicalize and perceive conservative activists as enemies deserving of death. Tyler's grandmother, 69-year-old Debbie Robinson, was the first to speak out amidst the pain. In her interviews, filled with confusion and denial, she portrayed the Tyler she thought she knew, a portrayal that investigators argue is vastly different from the calculated assassin who planned the murder on September 9. There's no way he could be violent. Absolutely no way he did that, Debbie Robinson expressed to reporters, her voice reflecting a grandmother's desperate need to reconcile the unthinkable. I've seen that child grow up, and I can't imagine he'd ever do something like this. And I'm not just saying this as his grandma. It's just who he is to me. He's the shyest person. Yet, Debbie Robinson's view of her grandson highlights the heartbreaking disconnect between the Tyler she remembers and the radicalized individual he transformed into. He never talked politics with me at all, she remarked, seemingly unaware of the political metamorphosis Tyler had undergone in recent months. Her denial extended to the fundamental elements of the crime itself. I don't think he ever shot a gun, to be honest. He doesn't hunt. He's never liked anything like that. I know he doesn't own guns. There's just no way he could have shot that well, she maintained, despite family social media showing Tyler posing with firearms, including a Browning .50 caliber machine gun. The family's Republican roots run deep. My son, his dad, is a Republican for Trump. Most of my family members are Republicans. I don't know a single Democrat in the family. We are Republicans for Trump. Debbie Robinson emphasized, revealing the ideological divide that had emerged between Tyler and his family. While Debbie clung to denial, other family members faced a much harsher reality. Dinner conversations on September 9th unveiled the depth of Tyler's political radicalization in ways that would later be crucial for investigators. Growing up, he was always a kind, respectful, and genuine kid. The kind teachers adored. This sudden shift is unexpected for all of us. A family member shared with law enforcement. The evening began as a typical gathering, but when the topic of Charlie Kirk's upcoming appearance at Utah Valley University came up, Tyler's reaction was immediate and intense. His family witnessed a level of political animosity they had never seen from him before, as he declared that Kirk was spreading hate, his voice laced with venom that left his relatives shocked. What made this exchange even more unsettling was that other family members, while disagreeing with some of Kirk's views, had no idea that Tyler's hatred had escalated to murderous levels. The family's cooperation with law enforcement began the moment they recognized Tyler in FBI photographs. His father, Matt Robinson, faced what experts describe as an extraordinarily difficult decision, confronting his own son regarding one of the most infamous crimes in recent American history. The conversation between father and son has been deemed pivotal for Tyler's eventual surrender. When Matt Robinson asked, "Tyler, is this you? This looks like you." Tyler's response verified his father's worst fears. Rather than trying to shield his son or help him escape, Matt made the excruciating choice to involve law enforcement. Tyler's initial reaction revealed the psychological distress of someone who had committed such an extreme act that even he struggled to grasp its implications. Instead of denying his involvement, Tyler confessed to the crime but expressed suicidal thoughts, telling his father he would rather take his own life than surrender to authorities. This indicates that despite his meticulous planning, Tyler hadn't fully considered the personal consequences of his actions. The family intervention that followed demonstrates what experts describe as remarkable moral courage in an impossible situation. Matt Robinson contacted a family friend who played a unique role in their community, a youth pastor experienced in counseling troubled individuals and also a court security officer with connections to law enforcement. This individual's dual role made him a suitable choice for the delicate situation. Working with the Washington County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshals Service, he helped facilitate what would become Tyler's peaceful surrender. The family's choice to involve this particular person reflected their understanding that Tyler needed both spiritual guidance and legal support during this challenging process. Throughout this ordeal, neighbors in the Robinsons' quiet St. George neighborhood watched in disbelief as their community became the focus of a national news story. Their home, surrounded by police tape and media vehicles, became a symbol of how political violence can emerge from the most unexpected places. Kristen Schwimmer, who had known Tyler since childhood through her work at his elementary school, became one of the few neighbors willing to publicly discuss the family's plight. Her observations revealed the profound shock rippling through their close-knit community. "What I know about Tyler is that he was always very quiet, smart, and had a mellow personality. He never caused problems. He kept to himself. I don't know who his friends are now." Schwimmer's confusion resonates with the broader community's response. In a place where everyone knows one another, the idea that Tyler Robinson, the quiet, intelligent young man they had watched grow up, could commit political assassination seemed impossible to accept. The family's decision to fully cooperate with authorities came at a steep personal cost. Not only did they lose their son to the criminal justice system, but they also endured intense public scrutiny and online harassment as case details emerged. Yet their actions may have saved lives by bringing Tyler's brief tenure as a political assassin to a nonviolent conclusion. Their cooperation provided investigators with vital insights into Tyler's mental state during those final hours, revealing that he had been tracking Kirk's speaking schedule for days, which underscored the premeditated nature of his attack. They also provided access to Tyler's devices and living spaces, helping investigators piece together a digital trail crucial for the prosecution. The family dinner conversation on September 9th yielded significant evidence of Tyler's motive. The explicit hatred he expressed towards Kirk, witnessed by multiple family members just hours before the assassination, became a key component for prosecutors to demonstrate premeditation. The disparity between Tyler's public persona and his private radicalization has left his family grappling with how they missed the warning signs. Neighbors described him as polite and helpful, while family social media showcased a young man engaged in typical family activities. Yet beneath this conventional facade, Tyler had undergone a radical transformation culminating in violence. Their revelations about his behavior offer critical insight into how online radicalization can turn ordinary young Americans into domestic terrorists, while those closest to them remain largely unaware of these changes. The digital conspiracy. Hidden preparations and deadly planning. While the Robinson family was processing Tyler's shocking expression of hatred for Charlie Kirk during their September 9th dinner, they were unaware that their son was simultaneously planning one of the most methodically executed political assassinations in recent American history. Investigators would later uncover a level of premeditation in Tyler's digital activities that contradicted Debbie's assertion of his nonviolent nature. The digital evidence that emerged post-arrest painted a chilling portrait of a young man meticulously plotting Charlie Kirk's murder. Far from being the quiet, apolitical grandson his family believed him to be, Tyler had been immersed in online environments where political violence was not only discussed but actively encouraged. His relationship with his roommate and romantic partner, Lance Twiggs, became central to understanding how his murderous plans evolved. Twiggs, a 22-year-old transgender woman transitioning from male to female, lived with Tyler in a St. George apartment and unwittingly became a key witness to his last preparations. Unlike Tyler's family, who only glimpsed his political radicalization during dinner conversations, Twiggs was privy to the full extent of Tyler's online activities. Through their Discord chats, investigators gained insight into how Tyler spent his final 3 hours meticulously preparing for murder. The messages Twiggs later submitted to investigators revealed Tyler's methodical approach to planning the assassination. These communications, sent from Tyler's account in the hours after their fateful family dinner, included detailed instructions about weapon positioning, ammunition preparation, and escape routes, proving vital to the prosecution's case. The content of these messages included communication indicating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, notes about leaving the rifle hidden in a bush, messages concerning surveillance of the area where the rifle was placed, a reference to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. These exchanges illustrate Tyler's rapid transition from political discussion at the dinner table to active assassination planning within hours. His meticulous preparations, including reconnaissance of the Utah Valley University campus, weapon positioning, and detailed logistics, showcased a level of premeditation that investigators found deeply unsettling. However, Tyler's digital preparations extended beyond mere logistics. The ammunition he assembled for the assassination included engravings that offered unprecedented insight into his political mindset. The bullet casings recovered from the crime scene were inscribed with a disturbing blend of internet memes, gaming references, and anti-fascist symbols that highlighted the toxic online culture influencing Tyler's worldview. Among the most significant engravings was the message found on the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk. "Hey fascist, catch!" followed by arrows. This inscription illustrated how Tyler perceived Kirk not just as a political adversary, but as a fascist enemy deserving of violent elimination. Other engravings reflected the influence of online gaming and meme culture on Tyler's radicalization. Phrases like, "Notice his bulges, oh what's this?" a meme from online forums, appeared alongside serious anti-fascist references, such as lyrics from O Bella Ciao, the Italian anti-fascist resistance song. This mixture of juvenile internet humor and deadly political violence highlights the blend of gaming communities, meme culture, and political extremism that has increasingly shaped young Americans. Unlike traditional political radicalization, which often involves formal ideologies and organizations, Tyler's transformation unfolded in anonymous, unmoderated online spaces where extreme rhetoric and violent fantasies became normalized. The timeline of Tyler's digital activities on September 9th and into the early hours of September 10th reveals a rapid escalation from political animosity to murderous action. Text messages recovered by investigators documented Tyler's chilling declaration. "I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it." When questioned about his motivations, he chillingly stated, "Some hatred cannot be negotiated with." These communications represent far more than casual political discourse or passionate disagreement. They chronicle Tyler's transformation from someone expressing political views at a family dinner to actively planning murder within hours. The technical aspects of Tyler's preparations revealed a sophisticated understanding of firearms and evading surveillance. His messages to Twigs reference not only where he concealed the rifle but also his plans to use a scope for precision and intentions to change clothes to avoid detection. The tactical foresight evident in these communications contradicts his family's depiction of him as someone unfamiliar with weapons or violence. Tyler's online activities during this time also illustrated the isolation that facilitated his radicalization. While his family viewed him as quiet and withdrawn, his digital communications revealed someone deeply embedded in online communities where extreme political discourse was the norm. These spaces validated his radical views while insulating him from moderating influences that could have deterred his descent into violence. The investigation into Tyler's online behavior unveiled his extensive research into Charlie Kirk's tour schedule and security measures. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment crime, it was a meticulously orchestrated assassination that Tyler had been preparing for days, if not weeks. His digital footprint indicated a detailed awareness of Kirk's itinerary, venue layouts, and optimal positions for a long-range attack. Most troubling was the evidence suggesting Tyler had been consuming content that explicitly condoned violence against conservative figures. While investigators have not disclosed specifics about the websites or forums Tyler frequented, the nature of his bullet engravings and tactical knowledge implies he engaged with online environments where political assassination was rationalized as a legitimate tactic. The role of Tyler's relationship with Twigs in his radicalization is still under investigation. Some experts posit that Charlie Kirk's vocal stance against transgender rights and gender-affirming care may have personalized Tyler's animosity, transforming abstract political disagreements into perceived assaults on someone he cared for. However, investigators emphasize that Twigs was unaware of Tyler's plans and cooperated fully with law enforcement. Twigs' cooperation proved essential in constructing the case against Tyler. The messages Twigs provided to investigators contained detailed instructions concerning retrieving the murder weapon and indicated Tyler's awareness of the forensic evidence he would leave behind. These communications demonstrated not just his premeditation but also his understanding of police investigative techniques. The digital evidence likewise revealed Tyler's psychological state leading up to the assassination. Instead of exhibiting signs of a mental health crisis or emotional breakdown, his communications during this time were calculated and focused. This evidence contradicts defense arguments about diminished capacity and bolsters prosecutors' claims regarding premeditated murder. Tyler's activity on social media platforms during his last hours also offered investigators insights into his mindset. His posts during this time frame showed no signs of doubt or moral conflict about his intended actions. Rather, they depicted someone who had fully embraced violence as a legitimate response to ideological opposition. The sophistication of Tyler's digital operational security during this period surprised investigators. His use of encrypted messaging, careful timing of communications, and attempts to obscure his digital presence demonstrated knowledge typically associated with seasoned criminals rather than first-time offenders. This technical acumen suggested extensive preparation and potentially guidance from online communities experienced in evading law enforcement. As September 9 turned into September 10, Tyler's digital preparations entered their final stages. His discussions with Twiggs included specific directions concerning the timing of weapon retrieval, ammunition readiness, and the disposal of evidence post-attack. These messages would later be critical for investigators tracking Tyler's movements and building their case for premeditated murder. The contrast between Tyler's dinner conversation and his concurrent digital activities on September 9 illustrates the double life he led. While his family noticed hints of his radicalization, they were unaware of the extent of his online engagements or the deadly seriousness of his intentions. This disconnect between Tyler's public and private selves is vital for comprehending how someone from such a conventional background could resort to political assassination. The family's gut-wrenching choice, betrayal, sacrifice, and quest for justice. The Robinson family's decision to report their son exemplifies one of the most morally complex familial dilemmas in contemporary American criminal history. As Tyler Robinson sat in custody following his surrender on September 12, 2025, the full scope of what his family sacrificed in the name of justice began to unfold through their reluctant interviews with investigators and the media. Their collaboration with law enforcement extended far beyond simply identifying Tyler in FBI photos. In the days following his arrest, family members shared intimate details about his transformation, his last communications, and the warning signs they now realize they should have recognized. Their revelations paint a heart-wrenching portrait of parents who chose justice over shielding their child, fully aware that it might cost them everything. Matt Robinson, Tyler's father, emerged as the central figure in his son's capture. The conversation that led to Tyler's surrender has been described by law enforcement as extraordinary in its moral clarity. When Matt recognized his son in the FBI surveillance images, he faced an unimaginable choice that no parent should ever have to make: protect his child or safeguard society from what his child had become. The confrontation between Tyler and his father laid bare the depth of Tyler's psychological transformation. Rather than maintaining innocence or showing remorse, Tyler's immediate reaction was to contemplate suicide rather than confront the consequences of his actions. His assertion that he would prefer death over surrendering to authorities indicates that despite his meticulous planning, Tyler hadn't fully grasped the reality of what political assassination would mean for his own life. The family's intervention demanded extraordinary emotional fortitude. Matt Robinson had to persuade his son, who had just committed one of the most notorious crimes in recent American history, to surrender peacefully rather than escalate the situation. The success of this intervention likely averted further violence, demonstrating the family's commitment to ending Tyler's brief tenure as a domestic terrorist. Tyler's surrender became a moment of profound tragedy for the Robinson family. As law enforcement took custody of their eldest son, they were simultaneously losing a family member while ensuring that justice would be served for Charlie Kirk's murder. The emotional toll of this decision continues to echo in their lives and throughout their community. Following Tyler's arrest, his family's collaboration with investigators intensified. They offered access to Tyler's living spaces, devices, and personal belongings, aiding investigators in constructing the comprehensive case prosecutors would later use to seek the death penalty. This level of cooperation, while morally commendable, came at a significant personal cost to a family already reeling from their son's actions. Interviews conducted by investigators revealed unsettling details about Tyler's final months and weeks. Family members described his escalating political radicalization, growing withdrawal from family activities, and obsession with online political content. These observations shared with investigators despite potential repercussions for Tyler's defense, underscored the family's commitment to truth over loyalty. Perhaps most importantly, the family provided investigators with crucial insights into Tyler's state of mind during his last free hours. Their account of the September 9th dinner, where Tyler openly expressed his hatred for Charlie Kirk, became central to prosecutors' arguments regarding premeditation. By sharing these intimate family moments with law enforcement, the Robinsons sacrificed their privacy and potentially their son's freedom, all for the pursuit of justice. The investigation also unveiled the extent to which Tyler had deceived his family about his online activities and political intentions. While family members were cognizant of his increasing political engagement, they were entirely unaware of the depth of his radicalization or the seriousness of his plans. This deceit added another layer of betrayal to a family already in crisis. Tyler's arrest and subsequent refusal to cooperate with investigators created additional strain for his family. While they chose to assist law enforcement, Tyler remained defiant and unrepentant, placing them in the painful position of having helped capture their son while he dismissed their values and choices. Community reactions to the family's cooperation were mixed but generally sympathetic. Neighbors who watched Tyler grow up expressed empathy for parents trapped in an impossible situation. Many St. George residents praised the family's moral courage while acknowledging the heavy price they had paid for their commitment to what they believed was right. What message would you convey to Tyler if you could speak to him now? What social media platforms were you using, and who were you spending time with? Because I feel like you couldn't have arrived at this alone. There's so much hate in this world, and it shouldn't be that way. You need to find a way to reconcile. The broader implications of the family's cooperation extend beyond this isolated case. Their choice to prioritize public safety over familial loyalty has been highlighted by experts as a model for how families should react upon discovering a loved one has committed serious crimes. Nevertheless, the emotional and social costs of such decisions remain profound and enduring. The Robinson family's experience brings to light the larger challenge American families face concerning online radicalization. Tyler's journey from a quiet, high-achieving student to a political assassin unfolded gradually, with family members noticing changes but only realizing their significance when it was too late. Their story serves as a cautionary tale about the indicators of radicalization families should be vigilant for and the necessity of early intervention. As Tyler Robinson awaits trial in Utah County Jail, his family grapples with the implications of their decision to report him. The upcoming legal proceedings will likely require further cooperation from family members, possibly including testimony against their son in a death penalty case. This ongoing burden illustrates just one aspect of the price they continue to pay for their moral integrity. The family's revelations about Tyler's last moments of freedom provide crucial insights into how online radicalization can lead to political violence. Their detailed accounts of his behavior, communications, and psychological state during this time offer investigators and researchers unprecedented data regarding the final stages of radicalization. Despite the accolades they have received for cooperating, the Robinson family's future remains uncertain. The social stigma of having raised a domestic terrorist, alongside sustained media attention and legal challenges, will likely affect their lives for years to come. Their choice to prioritize justice over family loyalty signifies a profound moral decision that few families will ever face. The family's willingness to communicate with investigators and eventually selected media outlets regarding Tyler's transformation reflects their desire to help prevent similar tragedies. By sharing their painful experiences, they hope to educate other families about the warning signs of radicalization and the significance of early intervention when such signs appear. As the nation grapples with the rising threat of domestic terrorism, the Robinson family's experience offers both lessons and warnings. Their story illustrates that political violence can arise from seemingly normal families and communities, often with little forewarning. It also demonstrates that families confronted with such situations can opt to prioritize public safety over familial loyalty, albeit at considerable personal cost. The concluding chapter of Tyler Robinson's narrative, his trial, potential conviction, and possible execution, will continue to shape his family for years to come. Their choice to assist law enforcement ensured that justice could be pursued for Charlie Kirk's murder, but it also condemned them to live with the repercussions of both their son's actions and their own moral choices. The complexities of the Robinson family's situation defy simplistic moral categorization. They are simultaneously the family of a domestic terrorist and the heroes who facilitated his capture. Their story reveals the painful truth that doing what is right often comes at an immense personal cost, and that the families of criminals experience their own form of victimization, even when they choose to cooperate with justice. Tyler Robinson's transformation from cherished son to political assassin and his family's response to that transformation will likely be studied for years as experts seek to understand how to avert similar tragedies. The Robinson family's cooperation with investigators yielded vital insights into the radicalization process, but it came at a cost that no family should have to bear. Their narrative serves as both a cautionary tale about the perils of online radicalization and an instance of moral bravery in the face of insurmountable circumstances. As Tyler Robinson confronts the possibility of execution for his crimes, his family continues to bear the weight of both his choices and their own, a burden they will carry for the rest of their lives. What do you think? Could the Robinsons have stopped Tyler sooner? What role does social media play in fueling extremism? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and tell us where you're watching from: Utah, New York, London, or beyond. If this story shook you, hit that like button. Subscribe to The Killer Next Door for more deep dives into the cases that define our times, and share this video to spark a conversation about preventing tragedy. For the Robinsons, for Charlie Kirk, and for a nation on edge. Let's learn from this pain. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.